And now, syempre, excited tayo na ipakilala po ang ating speaker. So he is the co-founder and president of SEDP Group of Social Enterprises, a microfinance and social enterprise expert, an author and Ateneo lecturer, online host and blogger, Mr. Vince Rapisura.
Yan. Hello po everyone. Wait lang, wala pa yata ako. Yan, hello. So magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat sa MedChoice for inviting me again, kay Lito at saka kay Bimbo. Maraming salamat sa pagtitiwala. Kinikilig talaga ako pag may mga repeat customers kasi ibig sabihin ay napaligaya at natuto. Kaya sana yan ang ating hope, ano? So welcome din po sa ating mga medical representatives at syempre ang ating mga doktor na kasama ngayon, no? At I am very honored to be invited again to talk to you about something very important na isa actually sa top 5 na financial goals ng mga Pilipino, which is retirement. Okay? So for this webinar, I'll be talking about these areas in retirement. So retire early, retire properly. So pag-uusapan natin ano ba yung mga iba't ibang klase ng retirement. Tapos titignan natin magkano ba yung kailangan talaga ninyo, no, for retirement. And I'll be also talking about my personal experience on how I was able to achieve this, no. And then I will go into the retirement myths, no. Ano yung mga karaniwang ibinabato sa atin tungkol sa retirement na sa tingin ko ay hindi siya financially sound. And yung last I think ito yung mga hinihintay ninyo, no. Ano ba yung mga best investments for retirement at bibigyan pa natin yan ng bonus. Ano naman yung negative list ko for retirement? So ano yung dapat na sa tingin ko ay unahin natin at ano yung mga iiwasan natin? O kaya sa mga iiwasan natin, pag meron na kayo niyan, sana wag niyo nang ulitin, di ba? So magpapakilala lang po ako ng saglit ulit. Ako po si Vince Rapisura at ang branding ko po ay financial guro dahil ako po ay isang guro. 17 years na akong nagtuturo sa Ateneo de Manila University at saka isang taon naman. Ang una kong turo actually ay sa Nueva Vizcaya sa St. Mary's University. So 18 years na akong, debut ko pala ngayon, no? 18 years na akong nagtuturo. And yun, no? I ventured into development work after graduating in Ateneo. And ang management yung tinapos ko, pero ang puso ko talaga ay nasa finance, specifically sa personal finance. So meron po tayong social media presence, nasa 300,000 na yung followers natin. At sa YouTube ay, millennial tayo, meron tayong about nearly 180,000 subscribers na rin. So plugging na, kung meron kayong Facebook at kung wala kayong Facebook, ibig sabihin ay medyo, you're part of the 5% na wala. At usually, mga thunders po yun. So, gusto nyo bang matawag na thunders? Ang mga may YouTube account naman ay usually millennials and zillennials. So, kung gusto nyo pong feeling bata, create po kayo ng account, no, for YouTube at subscribe. Ayan. Anyway, so, quick lang po, no, chat natin. Curious lang po ako whether you have already seen me in social media before. So paki-type lang po ang yes or no sa ating chat group para lang makita. Oy, si Dr. Debbie, hi. Ayan, si Miss Patricia, hello, no din. Josephine, Luz Viminda, ayan, daming no, yay! Ibig sabihin, marami tayong mga bagong captured market ngayon, no? Sana matuwa kayo. Okay, some background ulit, no? Nabigyan din tayo ng parangal ng Ernst & Young, PricewaterhouseCoopers, ng National Confederation of Cooperatives, ng Ateneo syempre, at saka ng Social Security System, tapos ng Pag-ibig, at ang latest po ay ang Silver Button Award galing sa YouTube. Okay, tanong po ulit, dahil retirement ang ating pinag-uusapan, ilang taon po ilang taon pa sa tingin ninyo bago kayo magre-retire? Patingin nga, tignan natin sa chat natin kung in how many years do you plan to retire? Do you plan to retire in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, 20 years, 30 years? Uy, may 2 years, may 10, may 15. Okay, 5, 10, 14, 20 to 30. Ako, parang bata pa yung 20 to 30, no? Uy, maraming mga 30, 15. Okay, so no, mukhang of all ages tayo lahat. And naalala ko din, this is nationwide, right? Kasi parang lahat yata covered from Luzon to Visayas and Mindanao. So ako po ay Ilocana. Ayan, so naimbaga rabi ikada kayo amin, pero marunong din po akong magbisaya kasi pirmi ako dito sa aking trabaho. So maayong gabi sa inyong tanan sa mga Bisaya at dyan sa Visayas at Mindanao. Okay, so yan yan yung ating so usually mga nasa 10 to 20 years ang ating time frame. So I'll keep that in mind. Ito naman, how much is your target retirement fund? So ilang milyon? Wag na po tayong wag na tayong mag-hold back. Ilang milyon ba yung pinaplano natin na retirement fund para mamaya kasi magkakaroon tayo ng mga ng mga estimate titignan natin kung pasok sa banga yung ating Wow! Si Raul, 100 million. Nakakaloka si Raul, 50 million yung iba, sila Adolfo. Namali ata ako ng estimate. Wait lang. Sige. Sige. So pag-usapan natin mamaya, mukhang nagkakahiyaan. Okay, si Lourdes o Lourdes Evangelista, 5M, 20M, 10M. Okay, sige. So makikita natin yan mamaya. Okay? Pag-uusapan natin. Okay, so umpisahan natin. Kinds of retirement. Ano ba yung mga iba't ibang uri ng retirement? Kasi ang retirement usually parang sinasabi nila, pagdating mo ng 65 years old or 60 years old, retired ka na, 'di ba? Pero actually, yan ay base lang sa definition ng batas natin na kapag 60 years old ay pwede nang mag-retire sa employment, sa labor code natin. Okay? So ano bang ibig sabihin ng retirement? Okay? So this is the action or fact of leaving one's job and ceasing to work for a living. Diba? So ceasing to work, at gusto ko lang i-emphasize dito yung for a living. Kasi pwede naman na nag-work ka pa din, but you are no longer working for a living. Ibig sabihin, you are enjoying your life or you're already doing what you want to do. Kung kayo po ay medrep at enjoy pa rin kayong mag-medrep kahit na kayo ay retired na, pwede pa rin naman tayong mag-medrep. Hindi ko alam kung sa MedChoice pwede pang 60 and above. So wala yun sa ang tinitignan natin ay nagtatrabaho ka pa ba para mabuhay. So kung hindi ka na nagtatrabaho para mabuhay, yaan daw yung retirement. Okay? And I've coined 3 kinds of retirement. Pero bago tayo magpunta dyan, nag-research pala ako kanina. Tinatawag na ako oy, magmi-meeting na ganyan. Sandali lang. Tinitignan ko kung ano yung life expectancy ng mga doctors. Kung mayroon ba itong kaibahan sa life expectancy natin. Kasi naririnig ko dati na sabi nila yung mga doctors daw, ang life expectancy nila ay mas mababa dahil high stress yung kanilang trabaho. Pero nung tinignan ko yung data, unfortunately walang Philippine data, pero sabi ko hindi naman siguro magkaiba how you are doing your practice, ang nakita ko ay UK data at ito yung nakita ko na life expectancy ng doctors. So, bakit ko to sinasabi? Kasi syempre, retirement yung pinag-uusapan natin. So, if you plan to retire, for example, in the next 10 years and you are now 40 years old, so 50 years old ka magre-retire, ang life expectancy ng mga Pilipino ay 72. Years old usually, 72. So, 72 minus 50, kaya mo bang mabuhay nang hindi na nagtatrabaho for a living in the next 22 years, Pero kung doktor, ang lumalabas po kasi ay mas mataas no? 80 years old daw ang mga general practitioners. So ang mga GPs, ayan, no? Parang usually mga family doctors, no? Mga GPs din sila. So 80 years old. Mga surgeons ay 79 years old. Ang mga pathologists daw ay 79 years old. Ang mga anesthetists at saka radiologists, sorry, hindi ko na ilagay dyan, pareho kasing 75 years old. At ito lang pala yung kind ng doctor na mababa ang life expectancy. Nako, kung kayo po ito ay baka lumipat na lang kayo sa derma, ganyan. Kasi ang derma yata ay 80 years old din, tapos yung skin nila hindi tumatanda. No? Ayan. So, ang mga emergency physicians po ay 58 years old ang kanilang life expectancy. So kung kayo po ay emergency physician, no, magplano na kayo na mag-retire ng 40 ha, kasi 58 tegi na di ba? Kaysa naman, baka pinaplano natin retirement at 60. Naku, hindi tayo umaabot, 58 years old. No, I'm just kidding. Just to put this in the perspective, no, most doctors naman are may mahabang buhay. And that poses a problem because ibig sabihin, mas mahabang buhay, mas mahabang pagpopondo ang kakailanganin natin para sa ating retirement. Ayan, okay. So, ito yung tatlong kinds ng retirement na nakita ko no, on how it really works. Okay. So, the first one is I call the nominal retirement. Susunod naman ang financial retirement. Tapos pangatlo ang meaningful and productive retirement. No? So yan yung tatlong kinds. Nominal, financial, and meaningful and productive.
Wala po ang ating speaker. So he is the
Parameters natin, kailangan aggressive. Okay? So, yung third naman natin is what I call the meaningful and productive retirement. So, this one is also not about age, and ito din naman ay may enough passive income ka na that covers expenses. So, that means you are already financially retired, but you choose to do meaningful work. hindi ka tumitigil magtrabaho. So, pero ikaw na yung pumipili ng trabaho, no? Like for example, I came to a point na kung hindi ko gusto magtrabaho today ay pwede. Kung hindi ko gusto yung kliyente, no, hindi kami magkapareho ng ano, or I don't enjoy working with them, I don't engage with them. Ganun na lang, no? I am able to choose who I can work with. Naku, di ba? Ang ganda nun. Ibig sabihin, wala kang boss, di ba? At saka, ibig sabihin yan ay you are enjoying your work, no? And you don't need to work for a living, okay? So ito, yung meaningful and productive, you are already financially retired, so yung second kind, plus nagwo-work ka pa din, okay? So these are our 3 kinds of retirement. So with the 3, ayan nga po, i-chat nga po natin, ano yung kind ng retirement that you would prefer, okay? Paki-chat nga po natin, what kind of retirement do you prefer? Ayan, ako puro 3 ang nakikita natin, ano? Sa ano natin. Okay. Sige. So, ayun, ano? Anong kind ng retirement yung prefer ninyo? Mukhang yung meaningful and productive. No, I think especially for doctors kasi I'm sure a lot of you doctors ay pumunta sa profession na to not because of the money, but because more of your of the service, no, that you provide, your willingness to help out, no, mga patients, no, to have a better quality of life. Ayan, ang taray. So karamihan ay nasa meaningful and productive. So ayan po, no, I'm so happy kasi yan din po yung pinili namin na kind of retirement. At ang lagi ko pong sinasabi, no, sa aking pagtuturo, ang pagyaman na pag-aaralan at na pagtutulungan. So you will always hear me say this because I want to emphasize na based dun sa ating profession, kailangan din nating kailangan nating
parang dalawang kasi sa lifetime natin.
To complement our our profession. So kailangan ng pag-aralan, pero we also can't do it alone. Kailangan din natin ng tulong ng gobyerno, ng enabling environment, no, for good business and investments to thrive. Ayan. Okay? So ito naman yung gusto kong i-impart sa inyo kasi mayroon tayong tinatawag na financial independence, retire early or FIRE, no? And this is actually what we followed to be able to achieve retirement. Okay, so are you on FIRE, 'di ba? Financial independence, retire early. Okay? So ito yung mga FIRE strategies, okay? So kung meron po kayong kung kayo po ay pen and paper pa, di magsulat, pero kung kayo po ay medyo millennial at bihasa sa inyong mga cellphones, I think marami sa inyo siguro ay nagnonood sa inyong mga cellphones, ay screenshot na lang po ang labanan, ano? Ito kasi yung mga strategies on how to do, no? Financial independence, retire early. Okay, number 1 is to live in extreme frugality and then retire early. So ang gagawin nito, ang sinasabi nito is to pay now so that you can play later earlier, 'di ba? So and how frugal would you get? Mamaya, meron tayong mga choices dyan. Pagpipilian natin. Okay? And then, aggressive yung savings practice natin, no? So, talagang pinaprioritize natin yung savings and generation natin ng investment portfolio to create the passive income. And this is precisely what I did, ano? Kami ng partner ko nung nagkakilala kami, buti na lang talaga magka-jive yung aming mga financial goals at yung pananaw namin sa pera. So sabi namin, we were able to buy a lot at nagpatayo kami na pwede na sana naming patayuan ng aming dream house or maayos na bahay. We were, I think, about 25, 26 years old at that time. Tapos, sabi ko, parang kung papatayo na natin ito ng dream house, this would become our biggest asset and the biggest asset na babayaran natin, napapasanin natin. Kasi nga, ay pag bahay na titirhan mo at dream house ay hindi yan kumikita, di ba? The largest asset, it will become our largest asset pero non-earning siya. So both of us, we decided na yung ipon namin, no? We were very aggressive in our ipon at inilagay namin yung ipon namin doon, and ang pinatayo namin is 4 apartments. Yung isa, tinirhan namin, no? 40 square meters lang siya. Tapos yung 3 ay pinarentahan. Kasi sabi namin, pwede namang pagka nasa 30s na tayo, bumili at magpatayo ng bahay. What matters now is, kailangan maging aggressive tayo in our frugality and our savings para lumaki yung ating investment portfolio to generate the passive income. Okay? Tapos, dapat din ay humahanap ng additional source of income. At yung additional source of income natin ay mas maganda kung hindi ito active income. That we venture into passive income. So, katulad nung ginawa namin, yung sinave namin, we put up a rental property, at yung rental property nag-generate ng passive income na rin. Pero initially, bago naging ganun yon, nag-invest muna kami, mga time deposits, share capital. So we earned dividends, we earned interest, and we also earned capital gains, no? So from there, nung lumaki na siya, sizable na, then that's the time that we put up a rental property. Okay? Sa fire strategy din, sa discussion natin, ang ina-assume natin ay pareho yung income and expense natin. So para lang to put it into context sa mga calculation natin mamaya, ang tina-target natin ay, kunwari kumikita po kayo ng 100,000 pesos per month, ang tinitignan din natin na expenses natin ay nasa 100,000 pesos per month when we compute for our daily living expenses. Ha? Kasi usually ganun naman minsan nga, di ba, kulang pa. Okay? And then, may preference din for what we call sexy investments, no? So ano ba itong sexy investment, no? Paano ba ito ginagawa? So how do we do sexy investment? So sexy is actually an acronym. Ayan, no? So yung acronym natin, S stands for secure. So kailangan ay kapag pipili tayo ng investment, dapat ay secure. So yan yung kasama yan sa FIRE strategy. Next, kailangan kapag pumili tayo ng investment natin, encashable ito or liquid. Ibig sabihin, the quicker na maging cash, mas maganda, no? And then kailangan din ito ay may X factor, which means ito ay socially responsible at environment friendly. And then yung panghuli ay Y, no, or yield or returns. Ito yung kikitain natin. So yan yung aking acronym in choosing right investments, no, magandang mga investments. It should be sexy. Katulad po ninyo kapag tinitignan ninyo ang inyong sarili kapag naliligo. Ayan, 'di ba? Body beautiful ganyan. So sexy yung tinitignan natin. And dito po sa atin, no, na acronym natin for sexy, choosing the right investments, ang priority po dito ay sex. Ayan. Dapat secure and cashable and may X factor muna bago natin titignan yung Y, no? Yung Y natin ay panghuling factor siya. Kasi usually ang nakikita natin, no, sa mga nag-i-invest ay hinuhuli ito, 'di ba? Hinuhuli ang sex. Inuuna yung Y, 'di ba? Pero dapat sa sexy, choosing the right investments natin, sexy framework, sex po ang mauuna. Ayan, sex positive tayo, di ba? So kailangan security ang isipin muna natin, and cashable at yung X factor, socially and environmentally sound, bago yung Y. Kaya po tayo ay nabibiktima ng investment scams dahil marami ang nasisilaw sa mataas na investment rate. Ayan. Okay, so yun tandaan natin. So yun yung mga parameters natin. Kailangan aggressive sa savings and then may preference for sexy investments, no? Parang din yung sa pagpili ninyo ng inyong partner sa buhay, kailangan sexy sa inyong paningin. Okay, so how do we achieve FIRE? Ganito po, no, yung ating gagawin. Ano? So you have to live in extreme frugality for the first 10 to 15 years of your life. So nagbe-benefit dito yung mga young doctors natin. No? Ano ba yung mga young doctors? Siguro 25 kayo nagiging doctor. Nalaman nyo to. No? And then, so extreme frugality, you practice it. So from hanggang 35 to 40 years old lang na magiging frugal. From that point forward daw ay maayos na ang ating magiging finances, no? Well, we will be able to achieve retiring early kung ganun yung gagawin natin. Okay? So ang gagawin ay ito na yung extreme frugality talaga. Save 50 to 70%, 75% of income to retire in 10 to 15 years. Okay? So, kaya talagang ang retiring early ay may bentahe ang mga bata pa. Okay? At yung mga bata pa, na, literal talaga, no, na this is already a translation of ng kasabihan natin na time is gold. Kasi kung narinig mo to and you're able to do this, no, ay you would be able to retire early. Pero of course, sinasabi nyo, ay grabe naman, 50 to 75%. Ang hirap naman yan. Okay. Of course, I'm just saying this na strategy siya, pero kayo pa rin yung mamimili at pupunta tayo dyan mamaya. No? At ito nga yung critique dito sa FIRE, parang talagang mahirap i-achieve yung 50 to 75%. In our case, ay naging madali siya kasi ito po yung benefit ng pagiging Becky, no? Tapos yung partner mo, Becky din. Hindi po kami magkakaanak, tapos pareho pa kaming manamit. So, reduce talaga yung costs. Kaya madali ang pagse-save sa amin, no? Di ba? Pwede kang magpalitan ng brief, parang magpalitan ng, ng damit. At tipid yun. Eh kung male-female, kung nagbabra yung mister mo, okay din lang naman. Well, no judgment, di ba? Pero magastos, di ba? Kung may male-female counterpart pa. No, I'm just putting some humor in our discussion. Kasi sa totoo lang, ang hirap po na mag-isa nagsasalita dito. Kaya magtatawag po tayo ng makaka-interact natin maya-maya. Ayan. So, tapos, ang gagawin mo din is to draw maximum of 5% of your retirement fund upon retirement. So, kunwari, yung sabi natin kanina, no, 10 million pesos yung iyong retirement fund. Ang maximum na kukunin mo dyan ay 5% per annum. So, that's 500,000 pesos. At yan yung gagamitin mo para sa living expenses mo. If you do that, based on my projections here in the Philippines, you will not be able to consume the 10 million pesos, the 10 million pesos na retirement fund mo. Nandyan pa rin siya. So kung may mga anak ka, pag namatay ka, maipapamana mo yon. So choice mo, if you want to go beyond 5% na pwedeng mabawasan yung principal ng 10 million na yon at project mo hanggang 90 ka mamamatay, then mas malaki yung pwede mong gastusin every year, no? Okay, so punta tayo dito, no? Ano ba yung savings effort na kailangan natin? So this is the FIRE strategy, no? So with this one, makikita natin savings rate, no? Savings rate, years of work, tapos with these years of work, how many years will you be able to save, no? Number of years ng living expenses mo. Okay? So if you save 10% of your income now, based on our calculations, you need 9 years of work to save 1 year of living expenses. So nakita nyo yun, kung 10% per month lang yung sinesave mo every sa kinikita mo, kung 10% lang yung sinesave mo sa kinikita mo, to save an equivalent of 1 year living expenses, you need 9 years, no, na years of work for that. Kapag 25 naman, 3 years. Oh, 'di ba? Ang laki ng difference niya. Pag 25%, 3 years to save 1 year, no, of living expenses. 50%, 1 year na lang, and then kapag 75% ay 1/3 year. Okay. So, ilagay natin siguro, no, parang masyadong Vince, yung 1 year. Tignan natin kapag 10 years, no, yung tinitignan natin. 10 years of living expenses. Kapag 10 years of living expenses, you need to work for 90 years if you only plan to save 10%. Okay? Pero kapag po tinaas natin yung savings rate natin to 25%, you will need to work for 30 years. Okay? So 30 years yan. So if you begin your work at 25 years old, kung 25 ka ngayon, plus 30, then you retire at 55. And you have enough funds for the next 10 years. So may retirement fund ka na dyan for the next 10 years. Yung 10 years po kasi, kapag yan, ang kinuha lang natin ay yung 5% equivalent lang niya. Kasi we invest it eh. Yung 5% equivalent lang niya na kinikita niya, mapipreserve yung 10 years living expenses na yon, which is your retirement fund. So, dito tayo naglalaro ng in terms of a more realistic way of looking at it in terms of retirement. Kaya po talagang retirement nagsisimula siya ng maaga, no? Kapag 50% yung ginawa mo, yung 30 years, 10 years na lang. Okay? Kapag 75% ay 3 to 4 years na lang yung kakailanganin mo to generate the 10 years worth of living expenses. Okay? So, yan yung just to show you the savings effort for FIRE strategy. Okay. Pero sa akin, ang pinakamadali din talaga dyan is i-reduce mo yung living expenses mo, which is your lifestyle. No? So, ang sa akin talaga, ang pinaprioritize ko ay dati nung kabataan pa ang parang what would make you happy, parang ganyan. Ang madaming mga sagot ko dati ay kapag nakapagpatayo na ako ng bahay, kapag mayroon akong maayos na damit, kapag mayroon akong guilty ang maraming mga doktora dito, mga LV na bag. Ayan, masaya ako pag marami kong LV na bag. Hindi naman 'yun masama, no? Pero we realized early on na okay, kaya din mahalaga yung love life. Kasi nung na-meet ko ang aking partner, ay doon ko na-realize na ang happiness ko pala ay hindi yung mga material things, kundi siya, di ba, nakakakilig, at saka my family and friends, no? Very important sa akin yon. And to have fun with my family and friends and my partner, it doesn't really take much money. So if you simplify your lifestyle, or if you choose a simple lifestyle, then mas kakaunti yung kakailanganin mo na living expenses, no? Yun yung tinitignan natin kanina. Mas maliit yung kakailanganin mo na living expenses. Therefore, mas liliit yung number of years to work. Okay? And for us, this is my partner and I. We've been retired since we were 31 years old, and when we were 31 years old, so that's 11 years ago, ay 50,000 pesos yung sabi namin na 50,000 pesos ako, 50,000 pesos na passive income ay sabi namin masaya na tayo dyan. So simple lang na buhay. Tapos syempre nag-i-increase yun with inflation. So right now, ang equivalent nito ay nasa 100,000 pesos, no? 100,000 pesos per month na passive income. So, yan yung namin. And because of that, yung resulta po niyan, 19 years na kami ng daily commitment to love. Yun pala yung learning ko, no? Ang decision talaga yung pag-ibig. Kasi actually, what really happened, so we got together when we were 23, and nung nag-10th year anniversary kami, parang nagkaroon ng divergence. Kasi retired na kami noon eh. That was what kept us bound together. Parang naging project namin siya na, mag-retire tayo by age 40. And attain namin siya ng 31. Tapos ang nangyari, ang na-realize namin, we wanted different things. He wanted to slow down. Ako naman, I wanted to to accelerate. Parang gusto ko pa, parang ganyan. Naku, nag-therapy kami niyan nung mga pinagdaanan namin, no? Yan din po ang isang, I'm very open about this naman. And it's also the mental month. Naging source ko rin yan ng depression before. Ayun, but anyway, napupunta na tayo sa love life. Ang sinasabi ko lang po ay dapat piliin nyo talaga ang inyong mga magiging jowa dahil baka yung jowa ninyo, sustagen ang tawag namin, sinusustentuhan ninyo. Dapat baliktad. Naku, kung makapagregalo yan ng LV sa akin, wagas, di ba? Mas maganda pag ganun, di ba? Anyway, ayan, ang pagyaman, napag-aaralan at napagtutulungan. So kaming mag-partner, pinagtutulungan namin at pinag-aaralan namin yung pagyaman. Okay? So, how much do you need to retire? Okay? So, i-estimate natin yung inyong retirement fund, no? So, yung retirement fund natin, it actually depends on your age. So, syempre kapag nasa 50 years old na po tayo, ay medyo talagang mas malaki na yung effort na kailangan nating gawin to achieve a retirement fund that we like, ano? With the same amount, yung effort noong 30 years old na doctor versus 50 years old na doctor, mas gaan yung financial burden dito sa 30 years old. Kasi meron pa siyang isang goal, di ba? Yung time niya, meron pa siyang time para gawin yan. Kung 50 na tayo, tapos 60 yung goal natin, 10 years na lang, di ba? So, kaya dapat, yun talaga, I couldn't really emphasize this more. You start at an early age, okay? Also, this would depend on how much you save, no? How much you save. Magkano yung kaya mong i-save. So, nung tinignan namin last time, kasi may nagre-range from 50,000 to about, I think pinakamalaki na nakita ko na sumagot ay 500,000 per month nakita ng doktor, no? So, yun yung, syempre, iba yung 50,000, yung kaya niyang ma-save, at iba yung 500,000. Pero, kung yung 50,000 ay 50,000 din lang yung kanyang hinahabol na lifestyle, tapos si 500,000 ay mas mataas na lifestyle pa yung hinahangad niya, kahit na malaki yung kanyang kinikita, ay mas matatagalan pa siya sa kanyang retirement, okay? And I see this a lot, no? May mga friends ako na they built a large house at ang gagara ng mga sasakyan, and hindi sila makapag-resign sa kanilang trabaho anytime dahil nga kailangan pa nilang bayaran yung mga yun, no? And it also depends on the rate of return, kung saan ka magsisave at kung saan ka mag-i-invest. So these are the things that we need to consider when we are estimating our retirement fund. Okay? So, ang gagawin lang talaga natin dito is to follow my savings rule, which is save as much as you can. Okay? Kayo yung magsasabi kung gaano, kayo yung mamimili. And kanina napakita na natin, no, ano yung mga rules of thumb natin. Given the FIRE framework, if you save 10% per month of your income, that would translate only to 9 years, that would translate to 9 years of working for 1 year living expenses, di ba? So medyo maliit talaga yung 10% na yan. So i-increase natin hanggat sa kaya natin. So the rule is save as much as you can, okay? So pupunta tayo dito sa mga calculations natin, and I will be giving some assumptions para lang malinaw, ha, yung bibigay natin na simulation. So, yung assumption natin ngayon ay we are starting from zero, which I hope ay hindi naman po, no? Which means zero savings. Wala tayong savings ngayon. Yung savings natin ay pag binuksan natin yung ating bank account ay zilch, no? Wala tayong makikita. In Ilocano, awan, 'di ba? So, in Ilocano, pugpugrot, 'di ba? Ayun, no? Yun. Tapos, sa pang-assumption natin ay, yung investment natin na paglalagyan natin or yung savings na paglalagyan natin ay 5% per annum yung makukuha nating return at nagko-compound ito annually. And here in the Philippines, ay mamaya pupunta tayo doon, no, sa mga investment options natin, 5% ay madaling hanapin. So, tuturuan ko kayo mamaya kung saan yan mahahanap, 'di ba? Kasi kung aasahan nyo lang po yung time deposit sa mga commercial banks, good luck, 'di ba? Hindi po 'yan mangyayari. Okay? So, and then, ang assumption din natin is we retire at 60. Kasi meaningful and productive retirement naman. So there's no shame no, kung 60 yung gusto natin na pagre-retire. Okay? And this one doesn't take into account our pay increases kasi lalong-lalo na kung ikaw ay 30 years old pa lang na doctor or med rep, no? Yung chance mo for increasing your income ay meron pa yan. So hindi natin matitake into account dito sa ating assumption ngayon, no? And then yung inflation din ay hindi natin na-take into account, and yung emergencies in our calculation, okay? So, yun. So ang titingnan lang natin ay ito, no? Makapag-ipon ng 5 million retirement fund at ang income natin ay 50,000 pesos every month. So how much do you need to save every month para pagdating ng 60, makakuha ka ng 5 million at ang kinikita mo ay 50,000 pesos per month. Okay? So ito po yung ating naging simulation dyan. No? At age 20, you only need to save 3,449. So this is just 7% of your 50,000 pesos. Diba? Kung 50,000 pesos ang kinikita mo, ang 3,449 ay peanuts. Madaling masave yan. So kung 20 years old ka at nagsimula ka, 3,449, when you reach 60 years old, you have 5 million pesos. At maliit na effort lang yon, yung 7% of your income. Pagdating ng 30 years old, no, mukhang ito yung mga karamihan ng edad natin ng mga participants ngayon, mga medrefs and doctors. I-imagine na lang natin, no, ang ating kabataan, no? 30%, so 6,271. So 13% of your monthly income na yon, kung 50,000 ang kinikita mo. So, ang ma-observe niyo dito mamaya, no, with the percentage of income, the bad news is, as you grow older, the effort to save doubles every 10 years. On average, no, kapag tinitingnan natin iba-ibang income, iba-ibang mga rates of returns, ang nakikita natin usually ay nagdo-double yung effort. Tignan nyo dito, 20%, nung 20 siya, 7% lang. Nung 30 years old siya, naging 13%. So almost double. Okay? Oh, excited na ba kayo? By 40. Kung 40 years old, 25%. No? So 12,600, one na yung kailangan mong isave from your 50,000 pesos so that you have 5 million when you retire. Okay? Isipin mo, meron kang 5 million naman you retire, tapos meron ka pang SSS, pero mukhang baka pwede na yan, no? When you reach 60. Pero wag kang mag-expect ha, kasi yung 5 million by that time ay kaunti na lang yung amount na yan. Okay? 50 years old, 66% na of the 50,000 yung kailangan mong i-save, 33,000 a month yung kailangan mong i-save. Kasi 10 years na lang yung time frame mo to retire at 60. At ang tanong ko dyan ay, realistic ba talaga yung 66% of monthly income yung pagsisave? And the answer is no. Okay? Kaya talagang kailangan natin balikan yung mga natin kanina on how to do this. Your age, the rate of return, and the number of years to retirement. Okay? So, yan yung natin, yan yung titignan natin. Paano kung nandito ka na 55 years old? You need to save 75,000 pesos every month in the next 5 years to be able to save that 5 million pesos. Okay? And with the 50,000 peso monthly income, hindi siya enough. No? Kulang na siya kasi 150% of your monthly income na yun 'Di ba? Mukhang kailangan mo ng mamasan o kaya sugar daddy para pondohan ito, no? Ayan, okay? How about kung 10 million naman, no? Given the retirement, no, na 50,000. So, ang effort natin dito at age 20, no, 3.4% na lang yan, 3,449 lang yung kakailanganin, no? So ganun pa rin siya, bumaba lang yung percentage of our income. So if you want to say na 10 million yung magiging monthly savings natin, i-double nyo lang po itong monthly savings. So in multiples of 5, pwede nyong gawin yan. So times 3, times 4, times 5. So kung 100 million ay times 10, di ba? So kung 20 years old ka, sino yung nagsabi kanina 100 million? Kung 20 years old ka times 10, you only need to save 34,490 per month para magkaroon ka ng 100 million when you reach 60 years old at 5% per annum. Okay? So, yun. Again, no, yung effort natin to save ay nagdo-double every year. At dito, pag titignan mo, yung savings rate na 12.6% at 33.1, kung 100,000 yung kinikita mo, ay workable siya to save 5 million pesos for retirement fund. Okay? Pag 50, parang workable pa siya, no? 33% nung 100,000. So, 33,000 pesos. At mukhang kayang-kaya yan, no? Mukhang kailangan mong mag-script talaga to be able to achieve this. Pero pag 40 years old ka, 12.6% lang, 13% lang. Madali din siya. Kaya start early, no? Save as much as you can. Okay? Pag 55 years old ay 75%, no? Ang ating isa-save. And yun nga, realistic ba yan in the next 5 years? Hindi ko yan masasagot. Kayo ang makakasagot niyan if you know yourself. And syempre, mas kilala nyo yung sarili nyo kaysa sa akin. At kayo din po yung magde-decide niyan. Okay? Ang pagyaman na pag-aaralan at napagtutulungan. Ayan. Okay. How many minutes do I have left? Baka chika ako ng chika dito.
Hi po, Sir Vince. We have 15 minutes po.
Okay, sige. Plenty of time. Sige. Retirement myths tayo, no? Ano ba yung mga retirement myths? So, myth number 1, and ito yung ni-explain natin kanina pa, it is not about age, ano? So, retirement is, myth 1 is retirement about age. Ang retirement is actually about your finances, no, your ability to create passive income. So with retirement, you can actually plan your age of retirement at any age of your choice. So sa amin dati, we were fortunate na 40 years yung aming target, pero we were able to achieve it by 31 years old. And that's largely because we chose a simpler lifestyle. Okay, yun, okay. Tapos, retirement is about age ulit, no? You have enough passive income to cover your expenses until you die, di ba? So, yun yung tinitignan natin. So, kung meron ka ng enough passive income at an early age until you die, then you are already financially retired. So, it's not about your age, no? You're also able to choose what you want to do when you are financially retired. And let me just share quickly, no? Kami din, nung nag-diverge kami nung partner ko 10 years into the relationship, ay ang nangyari, yun, she wanted to slow down. Ako naman, faster. So, nag-retire talaga siya. For 3 years, he only took part-time job in Ateneo and in Lasal. Tapos, wala talaga siyang full-time job. Tapos, yun, after 3 years, ay naburyong din siya. Sabi niya, ay, nako, if this is going to be my life until, ilang taon pa, talagang maloloka ako. So, kumuha siya ng work ngayon na petiks lang, no? Tapos, yung kinikita niya doon, very fortunate for me, dahil, parang hawa ako. Yung kinikita niya doon ay 100% na sinesave namin. So, talagang ganun yung mangyayari. If you really have a frugal life at the beginning, ang dali mong makukuha yung investment portfolio. Tapos ironic pa na dahil may passive income ka na nga, tapos mag-create ka pa ng active income, madadagdag pa doon, no? Yung kinikita ng active income to create the investment portfolio. So, bawas-bawas lang po muna tayo sa mga baka bakasyon, ganyan, o kaya sa mga bags, no? Kasi talaga, mga kaibigan kong doktor, ganun marami silang mga mamahaling bags. Ewan ko kung may laman na cash yung mamahaling bags nila. Ayan. Ano pa? The key for retirement is to know who you are and put a price tag to your lifestyle. So, kilalanin mo ang sarili mo, love yourself, at hindi mo naman kailangan patunayan yung sarili mo sa ibang tao kung tanggap mo yung sarili mo, no? Ayun. Myth number 2, retirement planning is done later in life. Okay? So, ang gagawin dapat natin dito is yung the first instance na may opportunity ka to earn, you already plan for your retirement. Magsubi ka na for the retirement fund. Okay? So as soon as you join the workforce. Because if you fail to plan early, you will most likely die poor. Diba? So kailangan nating magplano ng maaga. Maski number of children, makaka-apekto po yan. Okay? Provide maximum contribution to retirement plans early. So sa akin, ang pinaka-basic talaga natin na dapat meron tayo ay SSS. So I'll go into that later. Okay? And then follow my budgeting rule, which is 5-15-20-60 rule. No? So 5% of your income should be budgeted for insurance, 15% for savings, and 20% for investment. Kaya kung titignan mo ito, 15 and 20, I'm really saying na 35% ano ang ating savings and investment. Tapos yung 60%, yan naman yung ibabudget talaga natin for our expenses, no? So ang isang technique na titignan natin diyan ay kalahati ng ating lifestyle ay titignan yan lang yung gagastusin natin for our expenses. Okay? So kalahati ng income natin pala, no? Yun yung ibig kong sabihin diyan. Kalahati ng income natin ay yaan yung gagamitin natin for our expenses. Okay? Myth number 3, my children are my retirement plan. Okay, naku, napakaano po nito ha, baby boomers po. So wag po natin silang tularan. Ayan. So wag tayong umasa sa mga anak natin, no? Sana nga ay pag tayo ay nasa retirement age na ay hindi tayo pasanin nila and makakatulong pa tayo sa kanila, 'di ba? So mas maganda yung ganong sitwasyon. So, parents should not expect their children to carry the financial burden of taking care of them. And kaya mag-practice po tayo ng family planning. No? I really don't need, no? I'm preaching to the choir here, your doctors. Pero meron akong doktor na kaibigan, no? Ano pa naman siya, parang family planning, ganyan siya. Pero 5 po yung anak niya ngayon. Pero ano naman, doing very, very well, di ba? Retirement plan should be composed of your pension, health fund or health insurance, emergency savings, and a portfolio that generates passive income. So yan dapat yung components natin for our retirement plan. Okay? Myth number 4, the best time to start a business is when I am retired. No, nako, hindi po yan tama, ano? Kasi we don't have the benefit of time na kapag nandun ka na sa retired 60 years old, ganyan. What's best is ang gagawin mo na lang ay mag-participate sa iba na mga businesses. Mag-board ka na lang doon, ganyan. Because risk and age are inversely proportional and establishing a business requires time and energy, di ba? So, mas maganda, makisosyo ka na lang, ganyan. Pero kung ikaw pa mismo, nako, mahirap yan, no? Or kung mapilit ka talaga, huwag mong gamitin yung buong retirement fund mo for that, no? So, at this age, you can actually use money outside of your retirement fund. If you really want to put up your business, huwag mong gagalawin yung retirement fund mo at isusugal sa business. Okay? Consider being an advisor or a board of director. Actually, yan naman yung technique ko. Ng mga retirees yung kinukuha kong mentors and board of directors ng companies namin. Kasi naghahanap pa yan ng ng meaning in life, ganyan. At gusto nilang mabusy. Okay? And then, you can also pursue a hobby instead of putting up a business. Okay, myth number 5 is all retirees need life insurance. Okay, so yan naman ay hindi totoo. Kailangan lang natin ng life insurance kapag tayo ay may children less than 21 years old. So, ibig sabihin yan ay mayroon po tayong mga meron po tayong mga dependents pa. Okay? Life insurance na pinag-usapan natin na hindi health insurance. Everyone needs health insurance or a health fund. Either of the two is fine. Okay? Your grandchildren are not your dependents. So, wag nyo pong sabihin yun na dependents ninyo sila. Dapat yung anak lang. No? Hanggang 21, dapat kaya niya na yan. Kung magdo-doktor, edi sige hanggang 25, 26 years old. Okay? Dependents natin ay yung physically or mentally challenged children or spouse or parents. If we have those, then we need life insurance. Okay? Pero kung yung parents natin na mayapan na dependent natin sila, well, pwede mo nang i-stop yung life insurance mo. And rather than for paying life insurance, i-invest mo na lang yung amount na yan. Okay? Yun, no? Ano pa? So, if you have debt that will be passed on to your spouse or estate, then you also need life insurance. Pero usually naman, kumari credit card debt, ganyan, wala namang clean loan naman yan. So, hindi mo pa rin kailangan ng life insurance kasi charge off na lang ng credit card company. If your spouse is not self-sufficient or may be sick, then kailangan mo din ng life insurance. Okay? So, yan ang pagyaman na pag-aaralan at na pagtutulungan. Okay. Ang last na natin, ano ba yung mga best investments for retirement? Nagpunta tayo sa iba't ibang klase ng retirement, ano yung simulations, ano yung strategies. Okay. Vince, saan namin siya dapat ilalagay? So, dito po, ang paglalagay natin ng ating investment for retirement. Number 1, wag po nating mamaliitin ang SSS. Okay? Ang SSS po kasi ay maliit yung binibigay natin na amount pero malaki yung returns na nakukuha natin. And there is actually nothing in the private sector that can beat the benefits and pension money that the SSS would provide. Okay? Kaya kung kumbaga kung bumubuo tayo ng burger, si SSS yung ating bun, 'di ba? Basic foundation natin siya. Dapat nandun siya. Huwag ninyong mamaliitin at huwag ninyong i-skip, no? At ang gagawin din natin diyan, alam natin parang ang dami-daming mga controversies on that, no? Pero I think a very very high political risk na papabayaan ng isang presidente o ng isang gobyerno ang SSS. So kahit na may mga kontrobersiya yan ay may isasalba yan kung when worst comes to worst. Okay. Pag-ibig MP2, 'di ba? Yung sinabi ko kanina na 5%, nako, kayang-kaya yan ibigay ng pag-ibig. So, maglagay tayo sa MP2 natin kasi in the past 7 years greater than 7%, greater than 6% yung binibigay na returns ng pag-ibig MP2. And this is tax-free. It's 100% government guaranteed, no? 5 years ang term niyan. So irolyo nyo siya hanggang sa time ng inyong retirement, okay? Then you also can open cooperative time deposit and share capital. But only limit your cooperative exposure sa mga cooperatives na malakas. At pag malakas sila, they should be at least 10 years old already. They own their headquarters. And number 3, their co-op pesos score is greater than 80 points. And the way I generate my wealth is through this cooperative time deposits and share capital. Okay? So, yun. Sa investments naman, for retirement, rural bank time deposit at kahit anong rural bank po yan. No? Alam ko marami, kung doctor to the barrio kayo or nandyan kayo sa rural area, puntahan nyo po yung mga rural bank ninyo kasi mataas magbigay ng interest mga yan. I-limit nyo lang sa 500,000 pesos para PDIC covered pa rin. Kapag PDIC covered ay 100% guaranteed, below 500,000 pesos. At napagsarahan na po ako niyan, no? Nag-open ako dati sa Siargao Bank. This was sometime 10-12 years ago. At ang interest rate dati ay 13%. Nagbukas ako. Naglagay lang ako ng 400,000 pesos. Nagsara. Okay? Akala ko, ang mababawi ko lang po ay yung 400,000. Hindi pala. Maski yung cumulative na interest niya, pero up to 500 lang. Ang balance ko na at that time was I think 530,000 pesos. Pero dahil nagsara siya, 500,000 yung nakuha ko. So okay pa din, di ba? Protected at kumita pa rin siya. At mabilis lang mag-claim. So, Rural Bank Time Deposit, go kayo dyan because it's safe basta less than 500,000 pesos, ha? Government bonds is also good, although mababa ngayon ang returns nito. Another one is rental property, and I really highly encourage you to do this. Mag-ipon ng investment portfolio, ng savings nyo muna, and then build your rental property. At ang mas pabor po ako ng ang mga rental properties sa rural areas. Yung rental property ko po dito sa Sampaloc, Manila, ang return on investment niya ay 8 years. Doon po sa probinsya namin, ako po ay laking Madela Quirino, no? Malapit yan sa Isabela, sa Region 2. At ang return on investment po ng real estate property ko doon ay 2 years and 4 months. Oh. Kaya maganda talaga ang opportunity sa kanayunan. Okay. Retirement negative list naman. Ano ba yung mga retirement negative list ko? Variable Universal Life, yung ating mga insurance na may kasamang investment. Iwasan po natin yan. Ang napapayaman nyo po ay ang insurance company at ang agent dahil on the first 3 years, maliit po ang pumupunta sa investment portion ninyo na pupunta yan sa komisyon at saka sa kita ng insurance company. And it's not good because yung base effect, kapag compounding yung pinag-uusapan natin, you lose that dahil mababa ang investment na mauuna. What you should do instead is to buy term invest the difference. So if you're interested to know more about this, baka pwede ninyong i-request kay MedChoice sa next topic natin. The stock market also is part of my negative list, because it goes up and down, no? Hindi mo alam kung kapag ikaw sa retirement, it's time for you to retire already, ay mababa ang market. Kaya ako talaga, no, my exposure in the stock market is minuscule, no? It's parang less than 1% of my total portfolio. Parang nasa 0.3% lang, no, ng total portfolio ko. So the stock market, it's highly overrated. And a lot of people would debate me on this. Pero sabi ko, sige, pakitaan tayo ng numbers. And numbers don't lie. Nag-i-emerge parate ang aking mga consistent na Pag-ibig MP2, na pagtutulungan. So ready po tayo. At mabilis lang mag-claim. So, Rural Bank Time Deposit, go kayo dyan because it's safe basta less than 500,000 pesos, ha? Government bonds is also good, although mababa ngayon ang returns nito. Another one is rental property, and I really highly encourage you to do this. Mag-ipon ng investment portfolio, ng savings nyo muna, and then build your rental property. At ang mas pabor po ako ng ang mga rental properties sa rural areas. Yung rental property ko po dito sa Sampaloc, Manila, ang return on investment niya ay 8 years. Doon po sa probinsya namin, ako po ay laking Madela Quirino, no? Malapit yan sa Isabela, sa Region 2. At ang return on investment po ng real estate property ko doon ay 2 years and 4 months. Oh. Kaya maganda talaga ang opportunity sa kanayunan. Okay. Retirement negative list naman. Ano ba yung mga retirement negative list ko? variable universal life, yung ating mga insurance na may kasamang investment. Iwasan po natin yan. Ang napapayaman nyo po ay ang insurance company at ang agent dahil on the first 3 years, maliit po ang pumupunta sa investment portion ninyo na pupunta yan sa komisyon at saka sa kita ng insurance company. And it's not good because yung base effect, kapag compounding yung pinag-uusapan natin, you lose that dahil mababa ang investment na mauuna. What you should do instead is to buy term invest the difference. So if you're interested to know more about this, baka pwede ninyong i-request kay MedChoice sa next topic natin. The stock market also is part of my negative list, because it goes up and down, no? Hindi mo alam kung kapag ikaw sa retirement, it's time for you to retire already, ay mababa ang market. Kaya ako talaga, no, my exposure in the stock market is minuscule, no? It's parang less than 1% of my total portfolio. Parang nasa 0.3% lang, no, ng total portfolio ko. So the stock market, it's highly overrated. And a lot of people would debate me on this. Pero sabi ko, sige, pakitaan tayo ng numbers. And numbers don't lie. Nag-i-emerge parate ang aking mga consistent na Pag-ibig MP2, cooperative investment, and mga social enterprises. Equity and balance funds ng mga mutual funds and UITFs, negative list ko din po yan. Ang positive list ko sa mutual funds and UITFs ay money market at saka mga bond fund. Okay? Pag equity and balance fund ay hindi ko gusto. Okay? So yan po yung ating discussion for retire early and retire properly. Ako si Sir Vince, nagsasabing ang pagyaman na pag-aaralan at na pagtutulungan. So ready po